Hello everyone. We're going to discuss the key components of computer system operating system. Here the computer system. System consists of hardware, software, and human units that receives, process, manage, and present information in a meaningful format, primarily consisting of four basic units: inputs, storage, central processing, and output. Example of computer system is PC, personal computer. Five major operations or function regardless of its size and make. Number one, it accepts data or information as input. Number two, it stores data instructions. Number three, it processes data as per the instructions. Number four, controls all operations inside the computer, and it gives results the form of output. Four basic units. Four basic units is input unit, central processing unit, output unit, storage unit. Input unit. This is system sends raw data and control signals to an information processing system for user processing and computation, transforming to binary codes, which is primary memory acceptable format. Input unit is example of the keyboard, mouse, and other functions. Accept data and set of instructions. Convert the data in a form which the computer can accept and provide the converted data to computer for further processing. Central processing unit is also called the brain of the computer system. It consists of three computer system. It's responsible for all informations. And the three parts of central processing unit is control unit. Controls, manage, and coordinates the operations of the entire computer system. Control unit is a circuit within a computer processor and directs operator. Arithmetic logic unit executes the instructions and performs all the calculations and decisions. Perform numerical operation using additional and subtraction. And the third is primary storage unit, also known as a main memory, temporarily stores data output from the computer system, holds computer programs during execution, and stores temporarily immediate processing results. It's also called, this example of primary storage unit is flop disk. Output unit. The system provides the outside world with the results of process computation, converts them into human readable form, and supplies them users. Example of output unit. Example of output unit is if you play online games and the sound is called output units. Storage unit. A part of the computer system which employed to store the information instruction to be processed. Storage unit is may similarity sila ng primary storage. Pero ang storage unit ay nakatuon lamang sa ROM or RAM. Components of computer system: computer hardware, computer software, and humanware. Computer hardware. It consists of internal and peripheral devices or physical parts and of the computer, everything that we can touch. And example of touching the cell phones, it's like that. This is tawag na computer. Bago mo siya mapagana, ay kailangan mo na siyang ihawakan at kung paano mo siya papaganahin. Yun ang tawag ng computer hardware. Examples. Examples, input devices, output devices, processing devices, and pointing device. Hardware. It consists of the machinery and equipment, a computer system. Element of the computer that is physical. Input devices. Electronic devices connected to a computer reducing signals, input and instruction translating, and data from human readable from computer readable forms, and deliver information to users. And classification of input devices. Input devices for text and image, input devices for audio, input devices for video, and input device.
Output device. It displays, prints, and presents the results of computer work. It is any piece of computer hardware that converts information into human perceptible form or historically into a physical machine readable form by use with other non-computerized equipment. There are two different formats, the soft copy and the hard copy. The soft copy, visual, monitor or sound, speaker, yung nasa monitor pa lang. Hard copy, output or tangible, something we can touch such as printer printout, yung na-print na. And storage devices, it is used for storing, porting, and extracting data files and objects. It can hold and store information either temporarily and permanently, and can be internal or external to a computer. Types of computer storage. Primary storage devices. It is used for storing, porting, and extracting data files and objects. It can hold and store information either temporarily and permanently. It can be internal or external to computer. Types of computer storage. Primary storage. It is the main memory in a computer. It stores data and programs that can be accessed directly by the processor. Types of secondary storage. Random access memory or RAM. The data and program in RAM can be read, retrieved, and written, stored, also known as working memory. Stores data during and after processing. It's a volatile. Hold temporary instructions and data needed to computer tasks. Read-only memory or ROM. All the contents, data, and programs can be accessed and read but cannot be written at. Type of memory permanently stored inside the computer. It's non-volatile, have been pre-recorded. Secondary storage. Secondary storage is another alternative storage to save your work and documents. This can be removable, internal, or external. It is very useful to store programs and data for future use. It is non-volatile, which means that it does not need power to maintain the information stored in it. It will store the information until it erases. Types of secondary storage. Magnetic medium. Utilize magnetic patterns to represent information. Given examples: magnetic disk, floppy disk, offline storage, hard disk, secondary storage. Magnetic type. Video cassettes, audio, storage, reel-to-reel tape. B. Optical medium. Holds content in digital form that are written into read by laser. Given example are types of CDs: CD, CD-ROM, CDR, CDRW. Types of DVDs: DVD, DVD-RW, and DVD-RAM. Flash memory. Reroutable memory that function the RAM and hard disk drive. Flash memory store bits of electronic data in memory cells just like dynamic RAM. But it also works like a hard disk drive that when the power is turned off, the data remains in the memory. Examples given: solid state hard disk, memory stick, flash memory, micro flash memory. Capacity. It refers to the number of bytes characters a storage medium can hold. 1 byte is equals to 8 bits, and 1 megabyte is equal to 1024 kilobyte. 1 terabyte is equal to 1 million byte. 1 exabyte or EB is equals to 1 quintillion byte. And for PC and CP, 1 kilobytes equals to 1024 byte. And for 1 GB is equals to 1024 MB. 1 petabyte or PB is equal to 1 quadrillion byte. And 1 zettabyte or ZB is equals to 6 zillion byte. System unit and its parts. System unit, a box-like case that houses the computer's main hardware components. Parts of system unit, motherboard or main board. Main circuit board holding the integrated circuits for the microprocessor, memory, and etc. Hard disk drive storage or HDD. It is used as the main storage device for programs and data when the computer is not being used. Optical drive, CD or DVD, allows removable optical disc to be used to store information. And for memory or RAM, memory is the processor's working area, and here all operations take place while the computer running. Memory is also called random access memory or RAM and consists of small memory chips which is fit into slots of the motherboard. Microprocessor or central processing unit or CPU. It is a computer on a chip, and it is the device which actually executes the instruction components of CPU. Control units coordinates and control all parts of the computer system. An arithmetic logic unit performs arithmetic or logical operations. Registers temporarily store the most frequently used instruction and data. Computer power supply supplies the electricity to all the parts in the computer. Heat sink fan. Heat sink or fan. This sits on the top of the CPU and draws heat up into the fins or the heat sink, and then the fan pulls air up and through the fins, cooling them. That is how the CPU stays cool. Otherwise, it would overheat and shut down the computer.
Network card, attached to the PCI or peripheral component interconnect, also used for a broadband connection like cable or DCL. Ang network card ay ginagamit sa mga network device, kabilang dito ang mga printer, telepono at scanner. Sound card, it is a computer expansion card that facilitates the input and output audio signals to and from a computer under control of computer programs. Ang sound card ay isang bahagi ng computer na responsible sa pagbuo at pag-record ng audio. Graphics card, it is expansion card whose function is to generate and output images to display. Ang graphic card ay isang hardware na ginagamit upang maitaas ang memory ng video ng isang computer. Chipset, it is collection of chips that provide the switching circuitry needed to move data throughout the computer. Ang isang chipset ang nagmamanage sa daloy ng data sa pagitan ng bahagi ng motherboard. Cooling fan, it is used for cooling purposes. Ang cooling fan ay isa sa mga important sa Ang cooling fan ay isa sa mga important sa anumang PC. Dahil nagre-regenerate ito ng init o nakakabawas para hindi mag-overheat ang computer na ginagamit natin. ID or Integrated Drive Electronics Controller. It's responsible for controlling the hard drive and CD-ROM. Pinapalakas ng battery ng CMOS ang BIOS firmware ng iyong computer na responsible sa pag-boot up ng isang computer at pag-configure ng delay ng data. SATA Serial Advanced Technology Attachment for Controller. Major upgraded of ID controller responsible for controlling the hard drive and CD-ROM. Similar lang sila sa IDE, but itong SATA or Serial Advanced Technology Attachment, mas upgraded siya.
Go.
Computer software. It refers to the set of computer programs, procedures that describe the programs, how they are to be used. We can say that it is the collection of programs which increase the capabilities of hardware. Software guides the computer at every step where to start and stop during a particular job. The process of software development is called programming. Computer software is a genetic term of organized collections of code representing instructions executed by a computer. Software. It is often written first as source code and then converted to a binary format that is specific to the device on which the code will be executed. The categories of software: system software and application software. Relation between hardware, software, and user. The user uses application software katulad ng web browser, database, and computer games. At iba pa, at may dalawang uri ng system software: operating system and utilities that process from hardware like CPU, RAM, printer, and etc. System software. Computer systems are managed by hardware programs that control and integrate hardware components, ensuring a functional unit for users and software. Types of system software: operating system, utilities, programs, and device drivers. Operating system controls and monitors applications, provides a platform for developers manage activities, coordinate resource sharing, and serves as an interface between computer and user. Operating system manage the hardware and create the interface between the hardware and software. So, that is the relationship. Functions. The part of OS that manage the computer's resources is known as the kernel, otherwise known as the supervisor program. It manages the computer's resources or CPU, memory, and peripheral. These are the most operating system perform the following tasks. The first one is memory management. In several programs can be opened at once. The OS has to allocate memory to each program that is running, including itself. Number 2, resource allocation and sharing. The OS allocates processing time, memory, and resource each. Number 3, backing store management. The OS controls the transfer of the data from disk to memory and back again. Number 4, interrupt handling. The OS will display the appropriate error message may suggest corrective action to the user. And number 5 is process management. It helps OS to create and delete process. Number 6, file management. It manages all the file-related activities such as organization, storage, retrieval, naming, sharing, and protection of files. And the last one is device management. It keeps tracks of all devices.
Types of operating system. 1. Batch operating system. A batch operating system allows multiple users to use the systems concurrently, but there is no direct communication between them. In this type of OS, users submit jobs and the system processes them in batches, meaning one after the other without real-time interaction. 2. Multitasking time-sharing operating system. Multitasking or time-sharing operating systems enable users to perform more than one task simultaneously. 3. Real-time operating system. A real-time operating system guarantees the certain applications will meet specific deadlines and respond with a predefined time frame. It's critical for applications where timing and responsiveness are crucial, such as aviation systems, medical equipment, and industrial automation. 4. Distributed operating system. They enable fast computation and resource sharing across a network, making them suitable for distributed computing environments and large-scale data processing. 5. Network operating system. It's often used in server client setups where multiple users access resources over a network. 6. Mobile operating system or mobile OS. It enables these devices to run applications and programs, manage hardware resources efficiently, and provide user-friendly interface. Popular examples include Android and iOS. Here are the example of operating system. The Unix operating system, it still leads the industry as the most common operating systems for web servers. Also, the Unix operating system is a long-standing and influential operating system known for its robustness and versatility. The other one is Macintosh OS or Mac OS. It is credited for the widely used feature of every 05 to date. And the Macintosh operating system, commonly referred to as Mac OS, has been credited for introducing and popularizing several features that have become fundamental in modern computer operating systems. Also known as what you see is what you get. And then the MS-DOS or Microsoft DOS operating system. It is command line driven interface program where the user interacts with the computer through the command prompts to execute program. And the other one is MS-DOS. It is a command line program that enables users to interact with their computer via commands prompts for running different programs. And then Microsoft Windows operating system. It is first introduced an operating environment named Windows in November 1985 as an add-on to MS-005 in response to the growing interest in graphical user interface or GUI. Microsoft introduced Windows in November 1985 as an extension to MS-DOS to meet the rising demand for the graphical user interface GUI. Then Linux is an open source operating system based on Unix, suitable for personal computers, servers, and various hardware. Its collaborative development allows anyone to access, modify, and contribute to its code, making it versatile and customizable for diverse purposes. Utilities program. Utility program are compact and powerful software applications used by users to ensure their computer systems run efficiently. These programs with limited capabilities play essential roles in tasks like file management, troubleshooting, and gathering computer information. Common utility programs include file operations like copy, paste, and delete, as well as system optimization tasks such as disk defragmentation and cleanup. Device drivers. Device drivers are specialized software programs that facilitate communication between a hardware device and the computer's operating system. Types of application software. A. Proprietary application software. Customized software. It is a software were designed for a particular customer and known as customized software. B. Packaged software. It is the kind of off-the-shelf application software program developed for sale to general public. It can be purchased, programs, leased, or rented from a vendor that develops programs and sells them to many organizations. Generally, generally cost-effective and readily available and convenient.
Okay. Next, here's the examples of application software. First is word processing software. Word processing software creates worksheets, type text, and type letters. For best examples for which is MS Word, WordPerfect, MS Works, and Apple Works. There are the ones who use the paper to type the text, like when you're doing research or doing the report or scripts and many more. Next is desktop publishing software. Desktop publishing software is to make signs, banners, greeting cards, illustrative worksheet, and newsletter, and etc. For examples of which are MS Word, MS Publisher, and Apple Works. So there are the ones who make like books or journalism newspaper with margins, borders, and different appropriate fonts and colors that would be appealing to the people to read something or to look at the work. Next is the spreadsheet software. Spreadsheet software is to compute numerical interference problems such as forecasting and budgeting and etc. The best examples are MS Excel, Quattro, Pro, and Lotus 123. There are the ones who uses the formulas, the top colors, and it's resizing the sizes of the type, so it could be the appropriate use to work and use it for like record books, the report cards, and so that the research process or research result. Next is a database software. Database software is to store data such as address, membership, and other text information. The examples are MS file, Maker Pro. They are the ones who keep the files onto that application. Next is the presentation software. Presentation software is to create multimedia stack of cards or screens that can effectively present lesson for a sales pitch. For examples of application are MS PowerPoint. Okay, MS PowerPoint. MS PowerPoint, like we're going to use that slides when we reporting or representing the sales price. We have to is best to look at the graphics or the graphs so that people could know the results of it or the information. Next is the internet browser. Internet browser, they can read email and create web pages too. So, for examples are Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera. So, they are the ones who have the search engines, web browsers, or HTML, www, and many more about that. Next is email program. Email program. Email program send and receive email. The examples is MS Outlook. It could also be Gmail. So they are the ones who send the emails to the receiver or recipient. Next is graphic programs. So there were two types of graphic programs. So vector-based and pixel-based. So first is pixel-based. Pixel-based is to send, to touch up photographs and create graphics from scratch. The best examples is, our application is Adobe and Photoshop. So, but especially Photoshop and Adobe, they are usually the ones who edit every detail of the photo that they want it to be clear, neat, or anything they wanted in their imagination. Next is graphics program in vector base. They create graphics that are like illustration or cartoon drawing. So like Adobe, illustration, and Corel Draw. So there are, when you're doing logo, when you zoom in, then it would be like a smoother surface, like you're doing a Google logo, MS logo, and many more. Last but not the least is computer software. Computer software allows computers with models to communicate through audio, video, and chart-based means. So, the examples of which is NSA note making. Okay? And so, these are the examples of application software. Next, what are the capabilities of software? So, what does it mean if they are capabilities? So, they means they have the potential, right? So there are the capabilities of software. First capability of software is object linking and embedding, or OLE. It allows information that's shared between applications. For example, if you wanted to send it the bar or graph, you had to send it from MS to copy the work from MS Excel, then you're going to paste it onto MS Word when you're doing some research study. Okay? Next is portability of data. Portability of data allows to be transferred over the internet among different kinds of computer. So samples for each is FTP, is your file transfer protocol. So they are the ones who people put the computers of capabilities with different accelerating symbols that progresses among computers. And last, the upgradability. It requires more amount of space and faster protocol to hardware to be upgraded. But the problem is it could not be compatible resource. So example, when you're using MS 2003, you could read the MS 2003 to on you could use MS 2003 to MS 2007, but you cannot use MS 2007 to MS 2003. So that's the problem of the capability of upgradability. Okay, here's the last part of software. Now, here's the last part of the types of operating system. Operating system is humanware. What is humanware? Humanware describes the customer experience of software and hardware. More particularly, it helps to do the facilities of computer system being developed based on interests and needs to users and it's also called peopleware, that where users the computer system either directly or indirectly. When said directly, you're going to use by hardware, but indirectly, you're like going to use by software. Okay, here's our different types of humanware. First is computer engineer. Computer engineers, they are the ones who updates the software as well as the providing additional customer software to ensure to systems functionally. So they are composed of the desire of application to address the work of particular industry. Next is a software engineer. Software engineer is the responsible for design and develop of the software of the computers that is testing and evaluating. So they develop business specifically of application, computer games, and operating systems.